Alright guys, I'm going to go over um, a link I have on my website, and it's not Jupiter this time. We're going to be going over IdeeGiniali. It's an Italian uh, Knight Rider vendor, mostly for electronics. So I'm going to skip over to their website, and he sells some other stuff just like Jupiter does. It's almost, to me, it looks pretty much the same like Jupiter. Jupiter's just trying to make a living off, electronics and other little TV show stuff. And this guy's just seems like he's got a store doing different things as well, selling random stuff. But let's look at just the Knight Rider stuff, okay? This guy's got some interesting stuff as well. So we'll just go one by one. So we'll go click on Dash, Season 1 and 2. So he has electronics, and everything's in euros on their website. So you got to really go and transfer what it is in dollars. But you can see the boards, they're pretty well made, similar to Jupiter's. Probably a little better made than Jupiter because these are more up to date. And he does actually have a nicer voice box overlay that Jupiter doesn't. Jupiter's is just the top piece. It doesn't actually have the back piece to that bezel. When I click on it, I'm talking about the back piece back here that you can barely see. Um, yeah, when you get one from Jupiter, it's just the top piece, so you got to kind of fit that to the dash on top. So this one's a little bit nicer. Okay, and the countdown, he has a countdown. I believe Jupiter has countdowns too. Looks kind of similar. Don't know too much about those, but it looks pretty close to the show. They have leads that light them up, and he has switch pods as well. These ones look pretty close to the show. What I like about these ones is you can order more buttons to them. I guess this is what you get. But I know he has where you can actually buy them, more of them, somewhere on here. Okay, here they are. Or you can buy them switch pod bundle, and that comes with all the everything that you would see from in the show, X-ray, silent mode, laser, autophone. That's something that I would want to have because I hook mine up to an MP3 player, and I want to switch them out when I get bored. Okay, so price is 370 euro. Let's see what that looks. 370 euro to USD. That's about $452. So it's kind of a lot, but that's because you get the extra buttons. But they're pretty nice. And he's got plastic overlays, just like the Jupiter ones we've seen. One thing he does have that I like is he actually has aluminum ones here, as you can see. Um, I don't know how accurate they are. They look pretty close to me just from looking at them. I haven't ordered them off him, so I don't really know. Um, and then he's got the PANP buttons for 130 euro. Let's see what that is in USD. 159. I guess that's not too bad. He's got the little overlay for it. And he's got the little going button, which I don't never like this because it wasn't in the show, but a lot of people have been using it for their horns. But just personally, I don't really care for that. He's got some stickers that you can buy for the miles per hour, RPM. So some pretty good stuff here. Okay, let's shoot over to the Dash Season 3 and 4. Plastic, aluminum overlays, they look pretty nice. He does have a nice voice box. Now I wanted to talk about this. A lot of people, they're going through KRW when actually KRW doesn't make these. It's IdeeGiniali that makes them. And yeah, I just wanted to point that out. I always hear people, oh, I bought my electronics from KRW. KRW doesn't really make electronics. These guys do. So don't get them confused. Um, it's kind of like me if I was to put on my website, like under MISC or something, and I had just buttons and stuff, countdowns, and then it was all just from Jupiter, and I just added, you know, maybe 5-10 bucks per thing. But yeah, it wouldn't be me that was actually making those things. It'd be Jupiter, and that's the same thing that KRW does, which is cool. You know, it gives you something to look at when you go on his site. It makes it look like he's got a lot more stuff or everything to get from one place. Um, Here's another voice box. So he actually sells the voice box by itself, just like Jupiter does. It looks pretty much the same as Jupiter to me. It just looks like the board is a little nicer, actually, a little more clean, not as stacked. Jupiter's is 3 stacks. This is only 2 stacks. It looks pretty nice. Okay, and then he actually has a gas pedal here. This, I do believe that if you want to get the actual plastic pedal, you have to go through KRW. Okay, so that's the 3-4 season. So you can get the electronics through them. I don't know if anybody ordered off them. I would probably try them out. Um, but yeah, I don't see the whole set of the electronics, which is weird. I only see the compass here. So I don't know if he sells the rest of the stuff quite yet. Doesn't look like he appears to have the other boards. Alright, then he's got some upper console stuff. Season 1, plastic and aluminum. I like the fact that he has aluminum, because aluminum will outlast plastics, especially in hot weather. And it's similar to Jupiter's, you know, about the same thing. Okay, let's get out of here. Countdown, this is just it scrolls up, I believe. He's got 2 different versions. And then he's got the rockers, like I actually put those on my website. He wants 195. I was selling him a little cheaper than that, just to. Okay, but that's pretty much the upper console stuff. That's pretty good stuff. I mean, it's just like Jupiter's, just a different electronic maker. Let's go to upper console. Okay, this stuff looks pretty accurate. Just it looks exactly the same as Jupiter's here. Price-wise, I don't know if it's cheaper. 50. This is $60, 61. And I don't remember what Jupiter's was. Let's check it out. Jupiter. And we'll go to, that's upper console stuff. So we'll go down here. Jupiter wants 75. And you get the template. So does that come with the template? I don't really know. It doesn't really show one in the picture. But it is cheaper. I guess you don't really need the template for that one. So it's about $15 cheaper, and there's probably shipping on top of that though. So okay, and these are the same. These are 30 euro, which is 36, and let's see what Jupiter's cost is. 45. So he's pretty reasonable on his prices if you go directly through his website. Here's the lighted up buttons. They look exactly like the Jupiter ones. 250 euro, which is 306. And if you compare that to this, actually that's a lot more expensive. I got that right? 250 euro. Yeah, that's a lot more money for those. So you got to be careful when you're buying stuff, because it could be the same thing as another vendor and it's twice the price. Yeah, and these are exactly the same ones as Jupiter. I know what they look like because I've ordered them before. So you actually got to pay a little more, or what, quite a bit more. $306 compared to 179 from Jupiter. So I'd shy away from those. He does have aluminum overlay. This is nice. If you're not good at cutting through the fiberglass, just cut a big hole out of it and then mount this there with some screws. That's for somebody that doesn't like to use a Dremel or not good with one. And he does have this is actually a keyboard, which I think it's kind of ridiculous. Who's going to use a keyboard up in the upper console like that? It'd be really weird, and then you'd have to remember where A, B, C, and D, you know, where they're all at. So I can't imagine somebody actually using this in real, but I guess it's cool. And it looks like it's the same buttons as the other ones. Slightly different, maybe. Cool stuff. So this stuff's pretty accurate, these three items. This one not so much, but they do have the little aluminum pieces for this stuff too, which is pretty cool. Okay, we'll go to lower console, and this guy actually made the keyboard for a computer again. I don't find that ideal myself, but I guess if you wanted functionality. Now, I was talking about this the other day on Facebook, how the actual calculator is the T1250 calculator, and there was another one, semiconductor, I think. I forgot the brand of it. I think that was National Semiconductor, whatever the brand was for a calculator. They were too skinny here. I was comparing it to ones in the show, and the show actually was kind of squarish. It's still rectangular, but more in of a more in a boxy type rectangular than elongated one. So this one kind of looks more of the part actually. Too bad it's like 300, 150, which is $183, but I would never use it for keyboard for the computer. Okay, and then you got his lower square keys. These look like the original ones. Again, the colors might be off. You could see in this picture the color is really like a different green than the ones that are out there today. These ones are like more neon, or the colors are a little bit off. So it's the caps that are a little bit off, but other than that, they're identical to the show. These are the same things, just like Jupiter has. 80 euros. Let's see who's cheaper on those. 97 bucks. And over here, um, those are rockers. So that'd be lower console, 60 bucks. So it's kind of weird. So it's $20 more from here than Jupiter, but there's some things he has that are cheaper than Jupiter. So you might want to cross, you know, buy if you're really trying to save a few bucks. And this is cool. He's got a little lower console overlay, and it does say Space Mat. It's supposed to say Space Mat, not map. So keep that in mind too. 80 euro is $97. Again, a little bit pricey, but it's okay. A good thing about that one is this one's actually aluminum. Jupiter's is made out of this cheapy plastic material, which I don't recommend. I actually have one. I don't like it. Okay, let's go to gadgets. Check those out. So it's cool. He's got some eject gadgets, surveillance mode. Those look pretty close to the show. Some overlays for it, a little printout thing here. Uh, I wouldn't use this because it's completely non-functional. It's just, I'm sure you could put the surveillance thing in there, but the computer printout, that's pretty much, um, I don't believe that's functional at all. And here's the computer printout gadget, and that's pretty cool. I mean, it's cool. It's got three leads and a little switch. It probably makes noises, so it gives it a little kick to your car, I guess. Extra stuff, the gas leads we already saw, some relay boards, kit chair, um, some, these leads are not really, were not in the show, but they just put red and green. It wasn't like that in the show. Actually, they got some lighted, kind of like the White Rock door leads like I've been selling for years. They kind of started selling them too. Only difference is right here, I spaced my yellow ones out from the green and the red, which was in the show. They spaced it more right here, and these ones are just in sync. But they are printed on board. I actually, when I make mine, I hand do them. I get the proto board. I actually cut out proto board and I solder them myself. Um, and I don't have all the circuitry. I do all that myself. I add my resistors and all that. So these ones look more like from the factory, but again, this should have a bigger gap here and here for it to be exactly like the show. And they're quite cheap too. And what else they got here? Promotions. guess no promotions right now. So yeah, that's IdeeGiniali, as you would say it in Italian. So they got some good stuff too, guys. I recommend them. Not sure if I bought anything. I don't think I've bought anything off them, but I know they got a pretty good reputation. If I ever need any little tiny things, I can get off their website. So, but that's it for this one. I just wanted to go over that because I am having this as a link on my website. I just added it a couple months ago. I have Jupiter, IDG, DGeniali. Oh, I have trouble saying that. It's so long. And I also have ZA Electronics, and we can go through that real quick. Since there's not much to say about these other than they're one of the top-notch electronics out there right now. They're a little more pricey, a little over 2,000. I think it's 2,200, and you can order it right off his website right there. There's a click button right there. You don't have to go to any other vendor to actually order these. I have the direct link to the direct guy who sells them right here on my website. So just go to more, it's at the bottom here, ZA Electronics, to get some of the nicest electronics you can buy. And the reason why they're the nicest is because they're updatable, the firmware, and everything's plug and play. It's just, I actually have a set, and I'm going to be doing a review on them as well in the coming months. And I'll talk more about that. But yeah, that the link's on my website to all three of these guys are the major vendors for Knight Rider electronics. So any of these guys are good to get electronics off of. But that's it for this one, guys. Um, yeah, I recommend all three of those guys. So if you need any electronics, just hit these guys up. Go to KnightRiderShop.com, go into the More tab, and just scroll down, and you can find the direct links to Jupiter, IdeeGiniali, and ZA Electronics. Take care, guys.